Top of the hour to you. It is Wednesday. Let's make an amazing Wednesday. Hump day right here on AMHQ. We've got some winter going on right now in the Northeast and some slick roads. We'll start with the wild winds of last night, though. 50-mile-per-hour winds, taking out trees, power lines. A lot of roads were closed for hours and hours, 5-6 hours at a time in Connecticut. An entire hospital in that area, power knocked out. Generator had to be used as their only source of power. Cold air is fighting back this morning. Only 2 days left until the first day of spring. 20 to 30-degree temperature drops. Start in the Midwest yesterday. Today, Northeast, it is your day. And forever winter. New York, Philly, Boston. Expect more snow this weekend, but forget this weekend, Jim. The snow flurries that are going on right now. New York State Thruway shut down parts of it. The Merritt Parkway in Connecticut, an icy mess. Route 7 leading to the Merritt, an icy mess. We got a lot of trouble this week.
That one band that's coming off of Lake Ontario has some moderate to heavy snowfall with it. But the big change is, of course, on the temperature scale. I mean, people yesterday are just like, what the heck just hit me here? Look at how far down we are in just 24 hours. I mean, look at that. Pittsburgh down 32 degrees. So the cold air still advecting across the Great Lakes right now. And as it does, of course, we are talking about, a big chill in the air. That's for sure. 23 in Boston, 30 in New York. You factor in the wind. Look at Mount Washington. Sick! 60 degrees below zero. 7 in Boston. 18, by the way, winds up there in Mount Washington, only gusting to about 91 knots. So 108 miles an hour.
Spring? Spring?
Yeah, spring.
Jim? Spring? All right. We do see some signs of spring on the map, Jennifer. We've got some rain and storms.
Yeah, we do have some rain and storms out there. Yeah, but the problem is we have all that cold air in the Northeast. Now let's get to your big picture today. We have a lot going on the floor. You can see all that rain, that moisture coming in from Texas. And then we also have our energy over towards the west that's going to eventually potentially bring us our weekend storm. Now let's talk more and go over to the wall. We start off, of course, with the rain out there because it is the rain that has been the big dance across parts of the southeast. But look at this. This is our area low pressure kicking in rain, and we're talking some good time rain coming down across parts of Texas, even some flood warnings out there. This is going to last through late this week, so get used to the clouds around here. And then the cold air, it is back. You said it's supposed to be gone because spring starts on Friday at 6:45. Well, the problem is, look at this today. Temperatures now more than 20 degrees below where they were this time yesterday. And we have another pocket of cold air coming on Sunday. Now we look ahead and we look for the big picture into the weekend, Friday as well as into Saturday. The snow is going to return to the Northeast because we have this moisture that's going to be coming through. We have a low that's going to be developing. These two spell problems in the form of snow, high elevation. We are going to be watching this for the potential, where it's going to be and how much snowfall.
Yeah, even more, because this morning that cold air coming back in, rushing in, has caused some real snowy problems. Breaking right now this morning, Connecticut, New York State, trouble on your roads. A 3-vehicle crash shutting down part of the Merritt Parkway. We'll give you all that information. An icy crash closing down part of the New York State Thruway. Anna Rittis, we've got a lot of trouble, particularly in New York and Connecticut.
That's right. Good morning, Sam. Good morning to you at home. That crash happening just after 4 o'clock this morning. We're seeing the radar images, and we did notice a band of snow, as Jim mentioned, coming off of Lake Ontario just before that accident. The traffic camera off that area shows the traffic backed up in southbound lanes. A tanker truck and a tractor trailer jackknifed on the ice. It'll take a while to transfer the contents of that tanker truck, and of course we're going to keep you updated on the situation, but you can notice all the red lights in the backup. Meanwhile, we have in Connecticut a multi-vehicle crash near Trumbull that has closed the Merritt Parkway, a big artery there. DOT crews having a hard time getting to that area due to traffic backups. Here's a live look at 95 in Bridgeport. This is near exit 18. Our affiliate WVIT reporting at least 3 crashes in that area alone because of slick roadways. Of course, Sam, keep sending us those pictures if you come across any of these situations. #MyWeather at AMHQ.
All right, we know that's a lake effect snow band that's working all the way through that area, but we see it going into Suffolk County, so I'm a little concerned about even some of those roads in Long Island. So Long Island, heads up and keep up with us this morning. We're going to watch that snow pocket for you just minutes away. All right, new this morning as well. High wind advisories issued from Connecticut to Maine. 40 to 50 mile per hour winds, strong enough to take trees right down over houses and even power lines and roads. Now, we lost power to thousands. Checked in with PSE&G this morning out on Long Island. They say most of it has been restored. There's still some outages in Connecticut, though. The Rockville Hospital in Vernon, Connecticut, operating on a backup generator for a period of time overnight last night, just trying to get all that power back up in the area. But winds are still an issue. Boston, wind advisories go on until 5 o'clock today. We're in the low 20s right now, and we won't get above freezing today. Mike Seidel is right there in Plymouth, Mass. this morning. Hey, Mike, we've got that wind advisory for you, but those wind chills are in the single digits there, and it is still even breezy all the way to New York with wind chills in the low 20s.
Yes, back to the cold weather here, the really cold weather. 9 is the wind chill here in Plymouth, our temperature at 23 as the sun came up at 11 minutes before 7. Look at this. And remember, as we head towards the equinox on Friday, Sam, the sun rises exactly in the eastern sky anywhere on the planet. And you can see that in the distance. Those are some of the fringe clouds. There is a band of ocean effect snow way off east of the Cape and Provincetown. Some of the clouds out there off to the east this morning. Winds have gusted since yesterday, 51 miles an hour. Logan, it wasn't a bad day at all yesterday here in Plymouth. Temperatures up around 50. Logan hit 51. It got breezy through the afternoon. There was some sunshine after some morning rainfall. Here's the current look at the winds and the gust. Again, if you're back inland, Albany, Burlington, back towards Buffalo, that's not really an issue with the gust. But certainly here near the coast, they're gusting 25, 30, even out on the Cape. Provincetown gusting to nearly 40 miles an hour. It's going to be a cold day. Average high now in Boston, 46. We will top out around 30, 31, not getting above freezing. The winds will become gustier as this sun gets higher in the sky with the March sun angle, all the mixing. I'm sure Jim will talk about that. And Sam, as the sun sets this evening, the gustiness goes away. Tomorrow morning in the upper teens and low 20s, and it stays cold into Friday with some snow expected here, some wet snow Friday night.
Yeah,
Sam,
all this cold air in place.
This morning,
Go ahead.
I was going to say just 2,500 customers in Massachusetts without power this morning.
Yeah, good
Sorry
good
about
for that,
Go
because
ahead.
no, I didn't do the Massachusetts check-in, so thank you very much on that, on the power outages there. And all that cold air sets up the snow for this weekend. But Jim, we've got a real bigger issue this morning with this band of lake effect snow.
It's really amazing. I mean, if you look at it, the most intense part of it is here. If you're in Binghamton, by the way, expect moderate snow any moment now. But you can see it goes all the way across the beautiful Catskills and makes its way down towards southern Connecticut, and even
right
out
over
to
the
Suffolk
LA.
County.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's just a little bit. All it takes is a little bit, just a little dusting on the roads, melting a little bit, and then refreezing when those cars roll over it. So guys, be careful this morning. Again, most intense part of this band, at least it's moving. It's moving down toward the south a little bit now, but the problem is it's going to move right over Binghamton if you're going to be heading out. All right, let's go over to the maps and talk about what we got going on, because it is a harsh slap back into winter here. Boston right now, 23 miles an hour, gusting to 30, as Mike was mentioning. Very breezy, very chilly bite to the air here as we have it. And March can be cruel, ladies and gentlemen. I won't lie about it. March can be a very, very cruel month in this part of the world. Trust me, I've spent a lot of time in Vermont growing up, and even in May, actually, we can have some pretty cruel times up there in the Northeast Kingdom. Slowly but surely, though, as we go through the day today, winds will die down a little bit. The problem is that strong March sun will have enough energy to mix up to where the actual stronger winds are aloft, and it'll bring them down toward the surface. So it'll feel like you get a lull, and then the winds will pick back up again. All right, nice little upper low here, by the way, sitting over western Texas. You can see it right there on the side of that. That's where your large-scale ascent is. This is where our moisture. We've had some great totals come out. Weather Service in Brownsville, I believe, just tweeted out a great shot of their dual pole radar estimates from Beeville down to the west of Alice to Hebronville, about 4 to 6 inches of rain. So it is still raining in that area that I'm talking about here. The back edge, though, is starting to slide off toward the east. And look at this, Houston. We need to watch this. Huge batch of rain here. I think it's going to move just to your west. But as it does, again, expect some very, very heavy rain as you head west out of Houston over toward I-10. Most of the rain this morning, Fort Worth up to Denton, not quite into Dallas yet, but we'll get into this here a little bit later on. Not heavy, though, I don't think, like we're seeing, or just to the west of Houston a little bit later on. So here goes the rain marching on off toward the northeast. I think we may even have a few thunderstorms today, Sam. Just depends on how much instability we can get into Mississippi and Louisiana. I think a few isolated severe, not out of the question.
All right, we've got a lot to look at this morning. We'll continue to watch those road troubles in the northeast.
Currently in our area, 67 degrees under clear skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 87. West winds shifting to east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 70. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 86. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
9 minutes after the hour. So glad you're with us this morning. And what a day yesterday, right around dinner time. Those winds anywhere from 55 miles per hour on Long Island. You're looking at some of the Connecticut pictures, taking trees down. You know when trees come down, it's power lines, it's home damage, it's car damage. A lot of roads were just blocked. People could not get around them until they cleared those trees. Debris even went flying through the middle of New York City. 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts recorded both New York airports. Stephanie, let's get into the wind this morning, but let's also talk a little bit about that band of snow that we've got going this morning, because it's active.
Yeah, you mentioned this picture from Gigi, by the way.
Where the snow is.
She's in Bethel, Connecticut.
She's in Bethel, Connecticut.
Right.
I just retweeted. Hang on, Steph, because we're doing a little bit of business as well, watching what's going on. Hang on, I know. But we're going to get this picture from Gigi, who's got a picture of the snow in Connecticut. But Steph, let's talk about those winds last night.
I mean, honestly, I'm so over winter. I get it now. I get it when people get so... I walked outside. I was like, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown with the wind and the cold. I can't take it anymore. It was so loud. I thought I was at the beach. I thought I was back in my home state in Florida because the wind was so loud. That's what it sounded like, those waves churning and churning and churning. Anyhow, Sam and Jim were just mentioning the winds were so bad. There was a woman walking down the street in New York City, and some wood from construction came down and actually hit her on the head, and she had to go to the hospital. So it's a really big deal here if you're in the city or outside the city. Let's talk about those winds, because it's going to be hugely problematic at the airports. Okay, and this is deceiving. We do have a wind advisory from Connecticut to Maine, but you're going to be at the airport and you're going to look outside and you're going to be like, it's clear skies. What's the holdup? And you're going to go scream probably at the poor woman who wants to try to get you on a plane and get you out of her face because you're yelling at her because you're stuck there in the airport. Trust me, they don't want you there either. But this is going to be the problem, because taking off and landing in this stuff can be troublesome, and it's going to mean it's going to be bumpy when you're coming in. So if you get a little nauseous on the plane, make sure you check when you get on that you have that little bag in front of you, because listen, it's not fun to throw up on a plane and in front of people, but it's better in a little bag than it is on the person next to you. So it's going to stay windy. You can see hour by hour, even into the afternoon hours, we are going to see those winds. And by the way, 'tis the season, because now we are starting to get the mixing up of the hot and the cold, and that causes the air to start circulating. And so we are going to see those breezy conditions as we head through the day. Sam, you know, you start to get the sweats and you start to get hot, and you're like, uh-oh, here it's coming when you're on the plane. Not a good feeling.
You know, Steph, it's a good thing
to
just...
me there.
Yeah, I know. It's a good thing to warn people that the flight's going to be bouncy and to know where the bag is. It's not... I don't have a problem with it. I actually like it when it's rough.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, I can sleep that right.
I love turbulence. It's just...
What about Abrams? How do you do with turbulence?
I do pretty well. There was one time that I was actually flying into New York where I did start to feel the sweats, and then you're like, oh God, I don't have a bag. You have that moment of panic. So I just want to give everyone the heads up. Just check it today to make sure it's in there. I didn't end up throwing up, so that's good.
All right. Steph,
and happy breakfast to everybody.
Yeah,
Enjoy
happy breakfast
Cheerios.
to everyone I know as we get you ready for the morning. Hey, we've got the big chill setting in. I just want to show you some pictures as we walk over to the wall this morning to give you your northeastern forecast. We're going to say good morning to Philly, also Atlantic City. Philly, you're starting the day at about 34 degrees. You made it up to 68 yesterday. And now you're looking at Atlantic City as well. Let's get caught up with this snow that's blowing through. We've got New York State, we've got Connecticut, all the way out through Suffolk County and Long Island. It's making the move. This is a narrow band of lake effect snow, but it's dropping some snow. We just told you that we got a snow picture in from Bethel, Connecticut. So on top of, Gigi got up this morning. She took a look outside her window. She could see the top of the car and the parking lot below. And she's like, what is this? Some kind of cruel joke that we've got this brand new line of snow? But just stay on that picture for me for just a minute, Ryan, because see what's down there on top of the car? That's what shut down the New York State Thruway. That's what's got problems on the Merritt and 7. There will be other roads to follow this morning as this little, wherever we show you on the radar, that band of snow is, because it's that much snow on the road surface that's making it too slippery this morning, and people just aren't thinking about it. Today wasn't a snow collection day in the forecast, but it's just light enough to make some problems. Zoom in for me, Ryan, and we'll take these people on a little trip here all the way through the Hudson Valley, down into Westchester County. You can see the White Plains area right there. All of this, and these are roads that are backed up this time of the morning anyway, so just delay your drive a little bit, because we've already heard that on the Merritt, there's about a 2-hour backup there. And that's really kind of around New Haven, but I think it's all the way to Dan Danbury. Right, Darcy? It was all the way into Danbury this morning? Yeah. So Bridgeport, we're showing you that little line of snow that's still clipping with you right now. Something of interest, though. Port Jeff, if you're in Port Jeff this morning, send us a picture and let us know if these snow showers or snow flurries and that little bit of accumulating snow actually makes it to you in the Port Jeff area. Just want to know. 30 degrees is where we are right now. Boston's at 23. The howling wind today is going to be a big deal. Your wind chills are a player all day long, even if you get a good-looking sky for a moment. 18 degrees is what it feels like. Look at Boston in the single digits. Bangor is 5 below. Let's get with Anna Rittis, and she has some new information coming in from the Northeast.
A lot of icy spinouts, Sam, and also crashes, especially on the Merritt Parkway, Route 7. We are noticing that at least 6 school districts in Connecticut are running on a delay because of these icy conditions. But the wind is another big story in the Northeast. You're going to have another cold and windy day, and yesterday was absolutely brutal. Listen to this video that was sent in to us by Instagram.
Is that scaffolding?
That's the building moaning because of the wind.
Yeah.
It's shuffling it around. You had 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts in Smithfield. So this is what people are dealing with today. Keep sending us those pictures. Hashtag MyWeather at AMHQ.
All right, so we're following the wind. We also have the rain in the south. There are 2 big stories that are going on right now. We need to get you also caught up on the fog in the south. Stay with us. We got a lot to cover.
It took James Dyson 5,000 prototypes to invent the bagless vacuum, and another 10,000 to invent the only vacuum that doesn't lose suction, thanks to patented sonic tips. Everything else is history. Search Kinetic now.
Discover Card.
Hey, I heard you guys can help me with fraud protection.
Sure, we help with fraud protection. If there are unauthorized purchases on your Discover Card, you're never held responsible.
You are saying frog protection.
Fraud.
Frog.
Fraud.
I think we're on the same page.
At Discover, we treat you like you'd treat you. Fraud protection. Get it at discover.com.
Sometimes the best used car on the road is the one you're still using. Right now, get a standard brake service for $89.99 after a $20 online rebate at Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
And I turn around and there's 3 rattlesnakes.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't worry, Rob, you're covered.
State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
We make meeting times, lunch times, and conference times. But what we'd rather be making are tea times. Tea times are the official start of what we love to do. The time for shots we'd rather forget, and the ones we'll talk about forever. In Michigan, long days, relaxing weather, and more than 800 pristine courses make for the perfect tea time. Because being able to play all day is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
This is Life Alert. Are you okay? I'm calling for help right now.
Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-934-1830. That's 1-800-934-1830. Call now, 1-800-934-1830. For a free brochure, call 1-800-934-1830.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind. I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 67 degrees under fair skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 87. West winds shifting to east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 70, winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 86, winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Nineteen minutes after the hour, and boy, do we have a lot of breaking weather to get you involved in this morning. Let's take a live look at Atlanta for a moment, though. 66 degrees today, partly cloudy skies. Of course, though, Atlanta, we're going to be talking about some rain. Why? Because I washed my car. So we've got some rain that moves in, and it looks like it's going to stay in for a while, Jen.
Yeah, a little jinx factor
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Every time you wash your car, what happens? Well, the rain comes out to play. Well, you get another day out of it, Sam, as we show you for parts of Atlanta. I know that makes you happy. We like to keep that pearl white car looking nice and clean. For Wednesday, sunshine, 67 degrees today. This is your hump day. Now we're going to start to see some rain working it very late tonight. I'd say even better chance coming in Thursday. Thursday, rainy conditions out there, and it's also going to be a lot cooler, and we're going to break down the forecast. Right now, the numbers are all above freezing, 49 in Charlotte, 50 degrees in Wilmington. A few of those high clouds around. You saw that in the live shot, and the same with Atlanta. As we go through this afternoon, our high temperatures coming to 62 degrees in Charlotte, 58 degrees in Wilmington. And then we look for Atlanta high of 67, much warmer down towards the south, as well as sore areas, including Montgomery. But there's a change in the air, and that is all due to a low that's going to be making its way over towards the east. As it does, it is going to be weakening, but it's still going to be bringing rain around. This is how we're going to end our work week. We show you for tomorrow, showers out there. I know this looks like a washout, but we're going to be looking at the scattered stuff. Notice a few thunderstorms setting up for South Georgia as well as into Florida, but that's tomorrow. And then we jump ahead through Friday, still looking at that rain around, but then notice we're going to add in some areas, including parts of the north, and we're talking parts of the mid-Atlantic as well. So all that moisture is going to be going somewhere. We push this ahead and want to point out to you for New Orleans today, of course, we're going to see temperatures generally in the 70s for Friday, 82 degrees, Saturday, 76 degrees, and Sunday, 74. As we push that ahead, that is New Orleans. For Atlanta tomorrow, it's going to be a lot cooler out there. We're going to set up a wedge, and that means we're going to be looking at that fog around as well as just really kind of gray day out there.
All right, deal. Jen, just to remind folks that we're on this road situation in western New York State through Connecticut all the way in toward Long Island. We've got some brand new pictures and traffic cameras coming up. But Jim, there's a talk of some storms and soaking rain in the deep south. But you know what we haven't had? A lot of severe.
A lot of severe weather, absolutely. And we'll talk about that pattern. But, you know, it's kind of interesting we do this today because this date is the anniversary of one of the worst tornadoes ever, if not the worst, the Tri-State tornado.
Yeah.
Missouri, Illinois, Indiana. This thing traveled on the ground for over 200 miles, 219 miles, 695 deaths.
Wow.
Single deadliest tornado on record.
Wow.
Let's hope we never have one of those again. But I'll tell you, it's been really interesting over the past couple of years, not just this year. We just haven't had a lot of tornadoes for a season. Things will ramp up, I promise you that. But for now, let's take a look at the numbers. The 3rd through the 4th, we've had 23 tornadoes reported January 4th through February 24th. Remember, we got that cool pattern that gave us all the winter weather in the south, only 4. So that has a lot to do with the jet stream. I'll tell you that right now. So tornadoes are down. We have hail that's down. Also, obviously, damaging wind is down. So severe weather as a whole, and that actually goes back to just looking at the pattern. So far, at this point, through March 16th, we've had no tornadoes in the month of March. We've never had a March where there's been no tornadoes. All right, the latest first tornado, March 23rd, 1969. So if we get to the 23rd without a tornado, we will tie that. And then obviously going into late next week, we're going to be into uncharted territories in terms of tornadoes for March. So we'll see. We'll take it as it comes, and I'll talk to you why we may actually get there in just a second. So only 6 tornadoes in 1951, and so far none this March. We'll see what happens. It's really all about the jet stream. You need instability, and you need change in wind direction with height. With the jet stream like this, you close off your moisture source, so hence your instability, and your change in wind direction with height is going to be on the east side of a trough axis. Look at where that is, over the Atlantic Ocean. So you've taken away both of those elements for severe weather, and there you see the main core of the jet stream. To get a severe weather outbreak in what is typically known for most people as Tornado Alley, you really need that trough axis back over the Rockies and the moisture source coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. That gives you maximum moisture, maximum jet stream energy, and we just haven't got that. Will we get to that pattern getting into the latter part of the month? This is a 7-day loop of the jet stream, and you see these waves coming across. And maybe as we get in toward next week, we have a little bit more of a favorable pattern here that certainly suggests we can get moisture from the Gulf coming up here, and we're on the favorable side of that jet stream to get diverging winds aloft and also changing wind with height. So we'll see what happens by next week, but so far we remain quiet in terms of tornado on this, again, historic day, certainly in tornado history. Sam, back to you.
Yeah, Jim. Okay, it's good to think about it because normally this time of year we would be talking a lot about it, but instead we're talking about a quick shot of snow that's tying up traffic. New York State on the thruway, got Rockland, Westchester counties involved in this, showing you some pictures out of Connecticut this morning that you guys are showing us. So we know it's the Merritt, we know it's also 7, but if it's the Merritt, it's also 95. I'm looking at Nassau County, a new line of snow moving in that area as well. Suffolk County on Long Island. So this lake effect band is moving all across the tri-state. We'll keep you up on your traffic and conditions and your driving conditions. There's a radar when we come back.
Lowe's presents How to Make a Friend Speak When She's Speechless.
Wow, Kim, I'm speechless. Your new bathroom looks so beautiful, I can't even talk right now. I literally can't even open my mouth to talk.
Now get the Style Selections Drayton Vanity for $179 at Lowe's.
Brought to you by Lowe's. Never stop improving.
If you take multiple medications, a dry mouth can be a common side effect. That's why there's Biotene. It comes in oral rinse, spray, or gel, so there's moisturizing relief for everyone. Biotene, for people who suffer from a dry mouth.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll take this one. Great.
It's not Fast and Furious without a Dodge. Furious 7 in theaters April 3rd.
Think fixing your windshield is a big hassle? Not with Safelite. This family needed their windshield replaced, but their daughter's heart was set on going to the zoo. So guess what? I met them at the zoo. Service that fits your schedule. That's another Safelite advantage.
Safelite Repair. You know, some people have told me reverse mortgages sound too good to be true. I mean, you get cash out of your home, no monthly payments, and still own your home. There's got to be a catch, right, Jesse? Well, there isn't. It's like any other mortgage, only with a reverse mortgage, the loan's paid back when the last borrower leaves the home. In fact, reverse mortgages are based on a notion that President Reagan signed into law over 25 years ago in order to help seniors remain in their homes. If you're 62 or older and own your own home, you may qualify for a government-insured reverse mortgage with AAG that allows you to turn the equity in your home into tax-free cash. And with AAG, there are never any credit score requirements.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive a new free information kit, including a reverse mortgage guide and DVD, personal stories from people like you, and a brand new family guide for children and loved ones, all absolutely free with no obligation.
AAG can help you pay off credit card debt, eliminate monthly mortgage payments, and provide some real retirement security.
Call 1-800-661-0312 today to get your free AAG reverse mortgage information kit and bonus DVD.
In the kits, you'll receive a helpful 3-part guide. The first will show you how a government-insured reverse mortgage allows you to access the equity in your home as tax-free cash. 500,000 people have already done it. The second booklet contains stories told by people just like you who've had their lives changed forever using a reverse mortgage. And the third guide is full of helpful answers and information for children and loved ones.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive your information kit and DVD, all absolutely free.
They're simply an effective way for folks just like you to get the cash you need to enjoy your retirement.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive your information kit and DVD, all absolutely free. Call 1-800-661-0312 now.
AAG, the best advice for a better life.
You just never know what's going to happen.
Woo! That was a good one.
Currently in our area, 67 degrees under fair skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 87. West winds shifting to east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 70. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 86. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Minutes past the hour. Welcome back to AMHQ. Hey, glad you're with us this morning. We got a lot of info for you. I told you we would go back to this problem in the Northeast, and we will. We're getting a light dusting of snow. It's kind of a lake effect snow band that's moving through the Hudson Valley into Connecticut as well, moving across Long Island. Road problems. We're hearing about spinouts, rollover accidents, and lane closures. Heidi Voigt with our affiliate WVIT joins me now on the phone. Hey, Heidi, you've been tweeting out updates since very early this morning. I follow you. Got one right away. So what shape are the roads in right now?
Well, Sam, it's just been a nightmarish commute through Fairfield County. And, last night we had the high winds coming through Connecticut, which caused, trees and wires to fall all over the state. We were already dealing with road closures because of that. And then this morning around 4 a.m., we had that snow squall just lingering over Fairfield County. And right away we started seeing back-to-back crashes popping up on the Merritt Parkway and 95, the Super 7, and all the way north to 84 in the Danbury area. And we just really haven't recovered. The delays are really heavy right now from Bridgeport all the way south to the Route 7 interchange in Norwalk. At one point, the Merritt Parkway was actually shut down on the southbound side. Yeah, and you can imagine it's a 2-lane highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, big delays anytime that happens. It was closed for about an hour in Trumbull because of a multi-vehicle crash. State police were reporting very icy conditions. Obviously, what's been melting during the daytime here has been freezing overnight, and certainly the snow squall wasn't helping conditions this morning.
All right, Heidi Voigt, thanks for being on it. And Heidi, you were right away. It's one of the things that tipped me off, and we were watching that radar right along with everything else. Heidi Voigt, thank you very much from the local NBC right there, keeping an eye on those roads, and we'll make sure we get the latest updates from Heidi as well as the radar, because we can show you exactly where the trouble spots are and are going to be. Let's look at some of the cities that we're watching in other parts of the country. Hey, good morning to you, Portland, Maine. 20 degrees with a wind chill of 5. Yeah, I know. Compared to what it has been, this is a swift change. We're under a wind chill advisory until 5 p.m. Gusts of about 50 miles an hour. Still possible, even though yesterday's winds were pretty tough. Chicagoland, we're waking up this morning at 31 degrees. We'll make it up to 51 today. Houston, covered in fog, and it's Morgan City, Louisiana, Beaumont to Port Arthur to Galveston to Houston. There's a big deal with the fog, and Jen, they got flooding, possible rains on top of the fog.
Yeah, and they had flash flood warnings earlier this morning. Now we're looking at flood warnings. And as we show you, the radar is still just really blowing up across parts of Texas. You can see for the Corpus Christi area as well as into Victoria. Had some lightning out there. Since then, we're seeing that mainly just to the northeast of Victoria and west of Houston. Now, as we put this into motion, we take you up to areas like Dallas, some light rain moving through there as well, just really streaming through areas, including parts of Oklahoma. So what is going on? You're saying this pattern just has seemed so rainy. Well, here we have our upper level disturbance right on top of the area. Eventually, it's going to be making its way over towards the east. Problem is we have the stalled front, all this moisture coming through. That means the rain is going to continue to come down across parts of Texas. And then you got another round that's coming for this weekend. As we show you, get used to this. Notice we're going to add in some thunderstorms out there. You can see for Dallas as well as to Houston and to Alexandria. That is for today. Not expecting anything severe, maybe a gusty winds at times. Now, as we go through tomorrow, shower activity starts to shut off a bit more for Texas, still keeping some rain around for Dallas, renewed moisture across parts of Oklahoma. That is your forecast for Thursday, but then we get into Friday, and guess what? More rain out there, thunderstorms in the forecast, and this is a widespread area because this energy pushing to the east as well. As we push this ahead from Friday and we show you the forecast through Friday, we're looking at 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, the heaviest amount once again coming down across eastern parts of Texas, where we already know we've had some problems with some flooding out there this morning.
All right, big weather headlines headlines this morning. Let's get caught up with your news headlines. Ana Ritas Rodriguez has that.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning to you at home. Of course, we're going to continue to track those icy spinouts and crashes in Connecticut. We're hearing of people being stuck on Route 7 for at least a half an hour. We'll bring you the latest information as soon as we get it. But let's start in our nation's capital, where the Secret Service says an envelope addressed to the White House appears to be tainted with cyanide. Additional tests are planned to confirm the presence of the chemical the envelope intercepted at an off-site facility that screens all White House mail. Another day, another recall, this time not ice cream, but Kraft. They're recalling nearly 250,000 cases of its popular macaroni and cheese. 8 people report finding small pieces of metal inside. The recalled boxes are marked C-2. Check Kraft's website for additional details. And a winner is expected to cross the finish line in the Iditarod sled dog race sometime this morning. The leader heading into Nome, Alaska is 2-time champion Dallas Seavey. His closest competitor, his dad, Mitch Seavey. Sam, Dallas has won 3 out of the last 4 years. The only time that he's not won, his dad won. 2 out of the last 4 years.
I wonder what that's like at the breakfast table. All right, the most incredible pictures you'll ever see in your life. These pictures, but guess what? More people had a chance to see them. Guess how far south this magnetic storm, millions of miles away, that you could see these incredible lights.
Oh man, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Harry.
You gotta do it like this. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, George. Hey, Jim.
State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
I want my foyer to smell more like a foyer.
I want his bedroom to smell like he's away at boarding school.
Surround yourself with up to 6 hours of luxurious, long-lasting scents. Introducing new Unstoppables Air Refresher.
Thank you for being a sailor and my daddy. Thank you, Mom, for protecting my future.
Thank you for being my hero and my dad.
Military families are thankful for many things. The legacy of USAA Auto Insurance could be one of them. Our world-class service earned USAA the top spot in a study of the most recommended large companies in America. If you're current or former military or their family, see if you're eligible to get an auto insurance quote.
Introducing the new Can-Am Spyder F3 with a cruising riding position and the most advanced vehicle stability system in the industry. You'll ride with a feeling of complete freedom and confidence. Visit your Can-Am dealer and test drive the Spyder F3 today.
Supermodel Cindy Crawford doesn't just walk the red carpet, she rocks it. At age 47, she steals the show and wows the international press. New York Daily News raves that Cindy defies the laws of aging. And Us Weekly proclaims Cindy Crawford hasn't aged a bit. Meaningful Beauty, a complete skincare system that restores the look of youth.
My skin looks firmer now. It's smooth and it's young looking. I'm so glad I found Meaningful Beauty.
Since using Meaningful Beauty, my skin tone is evening out. And I notice that all the little lines have softened. My skin has never looked better.
And right now is the perfect time for you to experience Meaningful Beauty because this brand new offer is Cindy's best deal ever. Normally $119, you'll pay only $39.95 when you call and order today. But hold on, this is where the offer gets really good. Cindy's Red Carpet Trio, a $95 value, is yours absolutely free when you call now. The trio includes 2 Meaningful Beauty favorites, wrinkle smoothing capsules and glowing serum for an immediate boost of glamour and glow. And when you order today, you also get the amazing skin polishing brush. This 2-speed ultra-luxurious brush gently but deeply cleanses, powering away dry, dead skin cells, revealing smoother, more radiant-looking skin.
The brush really feels like it's polishing my skin, and it just leaves it with an incredible glow.
The total effect of this free gift package? A red carpet-ready complexion. You get all this, a $215 value for just $39.95. But you must act quickly. Results guaranteed or your money back.
Pick up the phone, try it. It's going to make you feel beautiful. You're going to be thrilled.
This is a limited time offer, so call 1-800-530-3933 or go to trymb.com/brush now.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night,
weeknight. Wild Weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 67 degrees under fair skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 87. West winds shifting to east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 70. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 86. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
"39 minutes after the hour, and we are bowled over, and apparently so are you, because your pictures are flying in this morning about this geomagnetic storm, a very powerful solar storm. Now, I'm looking at the scale right here, and it says on a scale of 5, this one was a 4, so on a 5-point scale. So that's how strong it was. And because we had this unusual pattern of clear skies dipping down into the country today and the power of this storm, people were seeing this very far south, much farther south than usual. And we're, people were supposed to be able to see it Denver, St. Louis, New York. I was just looking to see when the last time any of these places saw that kind of thing. And this strong storm like this occurs just about 11 years, takes about 11 years to get that burst of energy like that across the area. So this is pretty potent, and the pictures are pretty astounding.
Having lived in the Northeast, usually when we hear these celestial happenings, people try to drive to the northernmost point to see them.
Yeah.
But we got pictures yesterday of people in Washington, Illinois seeing them.
Yeah.
This picture coming out of the ISS, look at it in orbit. Absolutely magnificent.
Are you kidding me, Jim? Did you see this?
First time I've seen it. It's fantastic.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Our next picture is
Best
coming
view
out
of
of
the place.
Port Austin, Michigan. Look at that. I mean,
that is spectacular.
It just leaves you
Look
speechless.
How many stars you can see, and then the light just glowing up around it.
And the next picture coming out of Lithuania. It was seen even on that side of the world. And it's beautiful to see that they're in some sort of a park, and you can still see the lights very bright. Jen, you were talking about the scale, 4 out of 5. What does that mean?
Oh, like how it disrupts electromagnetic fields, like radios and broadcast emissions.
Right, because they gauge these things now. They can see them coming off the sun, and they know how powerful that burst is, or that interruption will be as it travels through space. So now they rank them, and it's what a lot of people are calling space weather, Jim.
Yeah, and this was a 4, as you mentioned, on a scale of 5. That would be in the severe category. So these coronal mass ejections come out, and as soon as they hit that ionosphere, kaboom! You get these incredible. I mean, but I've never seen. Yeah, I've never seen the kind of greens and even the pinks.
Yeah.
And you don't even need a filter here when you take these shots. So it's really, this was a really bright and energetic storm, no question about it.
And if you've got more pictures, share them with us. We'll put them out. We'll be talking about it all morning long, because I'll tell you, Twitter is definitely talking about it. A lot of Facebook videos coming into it this morning. Hey, it was also
the is trending somewhere.
Yeah, it was also the cold front that moved through there. They gave us that beautiful, cold, clear sky.
Look at this one coming out of Lake Ontario near Rochester, New York.
Oh, that's Monte. Yeah, he's a great photographer. He sends those pictures of the ice caves and the waves and everything. So this was, now they're snowing in Rochester. So the lake effect snow has kind of moved in as well. So Rochester, Binghamton, a half mile with the snow coming down.
Remember, #myweather at AMHQ?
Because that's how we get the cool stuff, and we can share it with everybody when you share the pictures.
Real treat there. You always say that you have to go to like parts of Europe to go see that. Maybe
I had to go to Iceland to see them. I could have just gone to Illinois.
What a real treat, yeah. And Washington, Illinois is right outside of St. Louis. It's in the metro area. Well, we look at St. Louis right now, and guess what? We're waking up with 40 degrees and actually really quiet out there. But the pollen, and let me tell you, nobody does pollen like St. Louis. Sam, you think I sneeze in this studio, just send me back home to do a live shot and you'll fill that out. Temperatures today are going to be 50 degrees, but again, keep in mind, pollen's going to be really high out there. As we show you for St. Louis, your actual high yesterday was 68 degrees. You were just smoking those average numbers out there. Look at that, 57. But notice as we go through today and tomorrow, we're going to be cooler. Temperatures right near the 50-degree mark. Well, right now we have the numbers in the 20s out there. Cleveland, you're bright and sunny. You're a sunshine out there for today. Indianapolis, 28 degrees and 30 degrees in Green Bay. Now, this time yesterday, we're more than 15 degrees below where we are. Look at that for Columbus, 29. Charleston, if you're in the purple, you're seeing the most dramatic temperature drop off in the last 24 hours. As we take you through the day, notice 30 degrees, and then we're going to quickly warm up to temperatures, I said, just a couple degrees below average. You can see where the dividing line is, the cooler air for areas like Indianapolis, from Minneapolis, 7 degrees above average, Green Bay, 11 degrees, as well as Detroit. We're looking at a high today of 50. Now we push that ahead and we show you for Chicago, your forecast today, 51 degrees, really nice out there, a couple degrees above average. You should be at 47. And as we take you into the forecast, we have to end out through the week. We're going to see numbers right near 50s. But for Chicago, your warmest day is going to be on Friday. And then for Indianapolis, your warmest day comes on Saturday with a high of 64 after kind of a ride with the lower 50s.
It's a nice run. It really is. It's a nice temperature run, you know, in the short term, at least until Saturday. Thanks, Jen. So it's a 2,600-mile trip, and everyone told them not to do it. Have you ever heard of the Pacific Crest Trail? Well, a lot of people will make the hike, but in the wintertime, kind of never been done. So we're going to talk to two the guys who did it. They changed their route based on weather. And again, it's like, where do you need to be when the winter storms move in, where you need to be out of when the weather changes. It's a super cool story, and we're going to tell you about it right here on AMHQ. Let's give you a quick look at a radar this hour before we go. We should be concentrating on Connecticut right now as we continue to watch all of that snow, that light band of snow move across, even into Long Island. We'll be right back.
Here's our new trainer, Ensure Active Heart Health.
I maximize good stuff, like my potassium, and phytosterols, which may help lower cholesterol.
New Ensure Active Heart Health supports your heart and body so you stay active and strong. Ensure. Take life in.
It's only two of us. How much dirt can we manufacture?
More
Very
than you
little.
think.
What's
that?
Swiffer Sweeper.
I came in under the assumption that it was clean. I've been living in a fool's paradise.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you buy 3 Falcon, Cooper, or Hankook tires, you get the 4th tire free instantly. Plus, get special financing for 12 months on purchases of $4.99 or more on your Pep Boys credit card. Trust the boys to get you there.
Are you missing out on life because you're putting off neck or back surgery? Call Laser Spine Institute, the leader in minimally invasive spine surgery, to learn how a less than 1-inch incision can have you up and walking within a few hours of surgery, free from chronic back pain, and with no hospital stay and no lengthy recovery. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with spinal stenosis, bulging or herniated disc, sciatica, or other chronic conditions, call today for your MRI review.
When you're in that much pain and you live on painkillers, you really don't have quality of life. I feel like Laser Spine Institute was an answer to prayer. It's just the heavens had opened up, and it was like, I can live again.
If you've been told you might need neck or back surgery, call 1-855-401-BACK for your MRI review.
Laser Spine Institute, a less than 1-inch incision, a lifetime of standing tall.
Are you a man over 40 and feeling tired, losing muscle, have less romantic drive? Then you need Ageless Male, with an ingredient clinically shown to increase free testosterone levels. Ageless Male is now available at these fine retailers.
What we love is the challenge. What is the challenge when you walk in this house? It's not just dusting the thing off. It is giving it an entirely new facelift. It's more than a job. There's a heart behind this.
Watch an all-new Fixer Upper, Tuesday night at 9, only on HGTV.
It's time to elevate your expectations of what luxury waterfront living can be. Water Club North Palm Beach. In the heart of everything you love about the Palm Beaches. Unmatched views in every direction. Unrivaled amenities. Private club living on the water's edge. Water Club North Palm Beach, presented by Culture. Visit our sales gallery just south of PGA Boulevard on US 1.
It's gonna go fast. Hold on.
You just never know what's gonna happen.
Holy this is cold. We know you can't control the weather, so we build things to harness it.
That was a good one.
That's amazing, straight above our heads. That's just incredible.
Man, how do we do that? This is where I want to be right now.
Currently in our area, 67 degrees under fair skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 87. West winds shifting to east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 70. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 86. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to MHQ. 49 minutes past the hour right now. We continue to update you on the aftermath of Cyclone Pam.
All right, so this is the scene this morning on Vanuatu's outer islands, days after being hit by a category, we would call it a category 5. This was a cyclone in this area. Radio and telephone communications starting to be restored now. Aid workers have started assessing the damage already.
Yeah, the survey crews flew over one of the islands and saw communities basically ranging from 70 to 100% destroyed. Keep in mind the structure there is not what you would see, say, across parts of the U.S. or parts of Florida. But the Red Cross, New Zealand, as well as Australians, saying they desperately need food, water supplies, and donations.
The pictures that we've seen coming out of there are truly heartbreaking. We'll just tell you that you can lend a hand, and I know a lot of people in the States want to, by kind of getting with one of the organizations that are working to rebuild those areas of Vanuatu. You can visit our website, www.weather.com, for a list of the charities and organizations that are working in the area. But I'll tell you right now, an interview with the Red Cross just this morning, 130,000 people have been affected by that storm, and they're in urgent need of water, food, and safe shelter. They just don't have any of that.
Yeah, that's one of the poorest countries, so you're talking about in the Pacific area.
All right, so if you can help, it's a great thing to do. Back stateside, we're closely watching the next system that's bringing snow into the Northeast. Jim, let's get Tom working again, and let's talk about this.
Yeah, and even when we aren't expecting a whole big event, all of a sudden we wind up with a couple double-digit totals. Like up in Maine, where there's still 40 inches of snow on the ground in some spots. Now it's 50.
It continues to snow there, and spring's 2 days away. So what do you want to see outside your window first day of spring?
You want to
leading
see the trees. You want to see green ground.
Okay,
right?
So this is outside the National Weather Service office in Caribou from this morning, okay?
Oof.
That's what you see outside your window. That's not pretty. Now, they picked up about 6 inches of additional snow there. They've got about 25 on the ground. This is a drift,
Plus the wind, the wind's drifting all that stuff around.
So.
Still epic season in Maine in terms of snow. Not snowiest all time, but Bangor and Caribou, double.
Second highest for Bangor and over 6 feet higher than what they normally get.
Just incredible. All right, so let's talk about this morning. Wild morning with this lake effect band, which can travel all the way down to Long Island, as we've seen. And we've seen all the accidents across western Connecticut. It's kind of interesting, Tom, to kind of watch it move toward the west. We saw some great shots out of Binghamton this morning of the Aurora. Now it's snowing there as well as into Binghamton.
Yeah, that's right. And this band worked its way southward. We had accidents here on 87. We had accidents here in Connecticut. And now down along I-81 going through Binghamton, we got some pretty slippery conditions there as well.
All right, cold air aloft, plus an open lake.
It is.
Boom.
Lake Ontario typically stays open through the whole winter, so we're into March, but if the air is cold enough, you'll get this flow come across the open waters. Again, the ice only on the east side of the lake. The west winds have pushed it there, but a lot of water to work with here. That's why we had that band.
All right, so let's talk about the next storm in the pipeline. We know we have this one cold shot that's coming in, so there's that high pressure. The moisture kind of stays, at least the deepest of it stays to the south, but some of this does sneak up as we get into Friday.
Just enough, and I'm really concerned about Northeast PA, Southeast New York. That could be a sweet spot for snow where this moisture and this cold air
The European actually has a pretty significant event for New York City if it all occurs in a short period of time, right?
It does.
Because you can get 7 inches over a day, but if it takes a day, the roads may not be too bad.
Well, especially this time of the year. The daytime temperature is going to be in the mid to upper 30s, and that sun angle is higher, so the asphalt roadways will probably melt away the snowfall.
All right, so let's time it out for everybody traveling Thursday night. Susquehanna Valley, back in the Maryland Panhandle, snowy.
Yes.
Nasty.
And this is a day, during the day on Friday, you can see from Northeast PA through Southeast New York. This is the area we're highlighting for snow. For Binghamton, Poughkeepsie, into White Plains going into Friday night here. That's my concern. The city itself, boy, that is a close call. I think it's going to be a rain-snow mix, but we could get enough accumulation.
Friday night rush hour.
Yeah.
New England Thruway, I-95.
I-95.
Impact or not?
Well, again, I think if it snows heavy enough,
okay, so that's what we have to watch.
Comes down at that rate, it could slush up the roadways for a while.
All right, so that moves off.
Yes.
Here comes the next Arctic front slamming on down. Again, another cold air mass.
Very
keeping
cold
everybody locked in.
For this time of the year, moisture starved, but it's going to be a good, efficient snow producer in Maine. So we're going to see some additional snow in that Saturday night through Sunday time frame.
All right, so here's our official forecast from the Weather Channel. Oh, no, this is the American model. Okay.
Yes.
So here's what we've seen in the last day, 24 hours. The American model shifted more toward the European. Yesterday we were showing you this. We didn't have any snow for New York City.
That's
now,
right.
Both models are saying, hey, we got a little bit of an event.
Suggesting the snow in as much as 5 to 8 western New York. Stay tuned. We'll have to update this. We don't have all the details yet, but this could be a good snow.
And as Tom said, intensity at the time of the event makes all the difference on the roads. Guys, we'll keep you posted. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, let's head south. We've got that fog in Texas. We also have some very wet weather there right now. Rain and storms moving through. Up to a 1/4 inch of rain is possible. Now, when do you start to get out of the fog and get into the flooding? We will time it out for you. And you may have heard this. We talked about it yesterday. It's a visit by the royal couple to Washington, D.C. Prince Charles and his wife Camilla will be making the rounds in D.C. today. But this is a big changing day for weather in the East Coast. So what's their weather forecast for their tour?
Introducing new Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray. Now available over the counter in full prescription strength. When we breathe in allergens, our bodies react by overproducing 6 key inflammatory substances that cause our symptoms. The leading allergy pill only controls 1. Flonase controls 6, and 6 is greater than 1. Flonase, the 24-hour relief that outperforms the #1 allergy pill. So go ahead, inhale life. New Flonase, 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
The Fiat 500 isn't alone anymore. It's part of a big Italian family.
The future of the market is never clear, but at T. Rowe Price, we can help guide your retirement savings. Our experience is one reason 100% of our retirement funds beat their 10-year Lipper averages. So wherever your long-term goals take you, we can help you feel confident. Request a prospectus or summary prospectus with investment information, risks, fees, and expenses to read and consider carefully before investing. Call us or your advisor. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
You've been part of the family for as long as I can remember, and you just mean so much to all of us. The holidays wouldn't be the same without your crescent rolls. We got you a little something.
We got you jeans. It's about time.
Piping hot Pillsbury crescent rolls make Easter pop.
Whatever their stickers say, they'll all lose suction because their filters clog. But with our sonic tips oscillating at 5,000 hertz, only new Dyson Kinetic Science won't lose suction.
Nice morning, Scott.
Hi. At a morning of tiny voices crying out, feed us.
I don't understand.
Your grass, man. It's a living, breathing thing. It's hungry, and you've got to feed it with Scott's Turf Builder. Attaboy, Mikey. 2 feedings now in the springtime. Strengthens and helps protect your lawn from future problems. Get Scott's Turf Builder lawn food. It's guaranteed. Feed your lawn. Feed it.
And to keep crabgrass away all season long, get Scott's Turf Builder with Halt's Crabgrass Preventer.
And I turn around and there's
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't worry, Rob. You're covered.
State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
Hi, I'm Brenda, and this is day 1 of my Hydroxycut transformation.
We're gonna live free.
I lost 37 pounds. Look at the new me.
Hydroxycut is America's #1 selling weight loss supplement brand. Lose weight your way. Mix and match gummies, tablets, and drink mix.
Hydroxycut has completely changed my life. I can finally fit into the clothes that I love.
Hydroxycut lets you lose weight your way. And go to hydroxycut.com to access the Be Thinner in 30-day starter plan.
This Sunday.
One man's trash. This is perfect. Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers. Premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 68 degrees under fair skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 87. West winds shifting to east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals, low 70. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 86. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Top of the hour to you, and it is Wednesday. We're in the middle of the week. Let's make it amazing right here on AMHQ. And getting out of the Northeast this morning was tough enough, but now let's switch to waking you up into the middle of the country. Fog to flood. South Texas, dense fog advisory, visibility under a quarter mile. Dangerous driving this morning and flood threats now as rain moves in the area where the fog is right now. Power outages. High winds knocking out the power lines. Parts of the Northeast plunge into darkness, but it was worse than that. It was debris all over the place. Trees taking down the power lines, blowing over houses, laying in the roads, shutting down roads. Traffic troubles. Snow and black ice this morning causing collisions, shutting down major roads in New York, like the Thruway, also the Merritt Parkway for a while, and Super 7. Jim, we've had that line of snow moving through, and that was a problem, and now we got to focus on this flooding rain in Texas.
Yeah, and we're cleaning up now in single-digit wind chills across parts of the Northeast. Let's check out Texas, though. What a month, huh? First through the 17th. Look at the rainfall we've had in Houston, Austin, Corpus Christi, and College Station. Yeah, 2 to 4 or 5 inches here. Here's what is an average monthly total. So not bad for the first 17 days and through here. And if you look at just this morning's event, some of these areas around Alice, Texas have had anywhere from 4 to 6 inches. This is not the last event. We'll head into the weekend with another one. I'll let you know where that's coming from. It seems to come over California, but not do much there, unfortunately.
All right.
Really sad.
Okay, that's a tease.
Yeah.
When you look at the map this morning, Jen, do you see more spring or do you see more winter returning?
You know, I see more spring showers out there. It seems like more than anything out there. And yes, winter has returned as well. As we start off the big picture, guess what? We have more rain again across parts of the south. And as we show you the rain coming down, there's the radar for you across parts of Texas. You see that swirl there as well as our energy for our next system coming into the northeast later on this week. Right now across parts of the plains, as we show you what's going on, put this into motion. Showers in the forecast for the southeast. What we have is an upper level low. Well, it's going to be making its way over towards the east. You can see the stationary front kicking out all the rain once again. I know you're tired of this pattern, but we're going to see it from Texas as well as into areas as far east as parts of the mid-Atlantic as we go through the end of the week. And then we talk about the cold air that is in place. You're waking up this morning in the northeast saying, okay, I'm walking out the door. I don't need a coat. Wait a minute. I didn't check the Weather Channel yesterday because temperatures today are going to be running more than 20 degrees below average than what they were yesterday. And then our third story, of course, the cold air is going to be in place across parts of the northeast. At the same time, we're going to look at a low developing off the coast. As it does, that is going to be pulling in moisture. Well, you know what happens when you get moisture as well as cold air. That's our recipe, it looks like, for potentially some more snow setting up starting on the first day of spring. In case you're wondering, it starts in 2 days and 10 hours. I know everybody's counting down for that, but that's not spring-like weather there.
That's not, no. And the snow actually starts very close to the actual start of spring. All right, we just got to get through it. We just got to get through it. All right, this morning we're also tracking a very heavy batch of rain that's moving through the southern plains. Hey, we'll dig into Texas right now. Austin, you're getting a line of thunderstorms and thunder showers this morning. Already a 1/10 of an inch of rain there, and you'll pick up more than a 1/2 inch of rain today. And Jim, I'm just kind of refreshing these dense fog advisories, and what's interesting is as this rain moves in, Now they're just going from outside of Galveston all the way to Morgan City.
Yeah, it's going to mix the air a little bit. Yep. And there's a little bit of wind with it, so that's definitely helping to mix the air. I don't want to leave the snow ban. This guy named Paul Thury just sent you a tweet and you retweeted it.
Yep.
Only a dusting, not much to see, but you know what? That's the problem. It's a dusting on top of what were warm roads for the past several days. So you've laid down something that's 32 degrees, melted on the road surface, and then the wind and the temperature profile now has flash freezed it. And that's our big problem this morning. It just doesn't take much precip here.
And Jim, what's interesting about this is we're not talking about little isolated windy roads. We're talking about the Merritt.
Oh, I know. Exactly.
That is stacked with cars. So cars are on it. We're talking about Super 7. These are roads that get a lot of traffic.
Yeah, and like Sam's talking about, this is very densely populated in through here. A lot of people leave in the morning not really expecting this. It may not be snowing at your house, but once you get out the door, boom. Here's the deal. I want to let you know, if you're heading from Syracuse down to Binghamton, you're going to run into some light snow, but it's going to get heavier at about Binghamton and then all the way down to the Pennsylvania line right there on I-81. That's a pretty decent band of snow coming off of Lake Ontario, as Niz and I were talking about. You can see the converging air right there, and that's just pretty much setting it up over that lake with very, very cold temperatures aloft, minus 18 C at 850, so sitting about 3,000 feet up. Winds are cranking on Mount Washington. You think you got it bad in Boston? Check out Mount Washington, gusting 97 miles per hour earlier, about 111. There's Boston, though, at 47. So with the current temperature, as Seidel will attest to, it's a little chilly out there, ladies and gentlemen. Expect that wind to continue for a good part of the day. There may be a little lull in it, but once the sun comes out and mixes the air near the surface up to the level where the stronger winds are, which isn't too high, all those stronger winds are going to come down toward the surface as well. All right, again, we've got two upper lows. Here's one, and here's one. That's going to be the wet weather for the south over the next several days and through here. Some of that moisture may just clip the northeast, as we talked about around New York City. We have to watch. But this morning, again, our super soaker, as Sam was mentioning, right here across East Texas. This has been the area east of I-35 that's just gotten it this spring. We haven't seen much to the west of that, so this seems to be the trend here. Our systems are coming around the bend and grabbing that Gulf moisture, not letting it get deep into the heart of Texas, but essentially keeping it east of I-35. So again, our showers will move toward the east, and notice by Thursday at 7 p.m., we're left over with this first system over in the Carolinas. But we're reloading. There's still another low. There's two low pressure systems. So here comes this next one Friday morning. Expect the whole thing to just reload again over the I-35 corridor, points east for Friday night. And then that's the weather maker across parts of the south and the Gulf Coast. This is a cloud and radar model here, Sam. And notice where we actually have the clouds. So this is not, your perfect beach-going weather. The best place is going to be South Florida.
Yeah.
If you ask me where to go this weekend and over the next several days, South Florida.
Amen, my brother. Amen. All right, Jim.
And where are you going?
I might just take your advice on that. I might just be going to South Florida. All right, let's get into the Northeast this morning. We'll show you exactly what's going on. Once you get out of Connecticut, let's say Rhode Island, all the way up into Maine and even in Plymouth, where Mike Seidel is, it's not what's falling from the skies. It's what's blowing around. Those wind advisories are still up from Maine to Connecticut this morning. And we're talking about wind chills. Look at Mike. Now, Mike, is this dramatic or is this dramatic acting? Are you in character right now? Or is it really brutally cold? I can't tell.
Sam, can I go with you to South Florida, please?
And ladies and gentlemen, the Oscar goes to the AMHQ Acting Cup Award. We'll save your mug, Mike. We'll save your mug.
As I used to say, the movie was so bad, I'm surprised I wasn't in it. Hey, let's talk weather out here in Plymouth. Temperature right now is up 1 degree to 24. The wind chill is 8 this morning. That northwest wind causing that lake effect across parts of the Northeast, coming right across the city out to the harbor. We got some whitecaps out here this morning. It's a bit brisk. Winds have been gusting 30 miles an hour out here, and they'll get gustier. As Jim mentioned, we're going to be mixing up the atmosphere with this powerful March sun angle. Power outages have come down. We had about 5,000 from the two main power companies in Massachusetts, Eversource and National Grid. Early this morning, we're down to about 1,000. And once again, it's going to be the wind and the wind chill today that's going to get you. Average high now in Boston is 46. We won't even get to freezing, and that has a lot of folks concerned because there's been a big impact between the cold and the snow on spring sports here in this area.
I feel really badly about the high schools. They're supposed to be playing now, and there's not many places that they can play. So I believe the search is on for all the artificial turf fields there are in Massachusetts so that they can cram games all day long and all weekend long in there because they're behind schedule, and I feel bad for them.
Yeah, it's been a tough spring because even when it does warm up a little bit, you still have all the snow on the ground across southeast Mass and across a lot of New England. There's your 3-day forecast today, only 30. So we're going to be about 15 below average. Next couple days, maybe climbing a little bit above freezing. And Sam, we're looking for at least some snow here Friday night, going over to some rain here on Saturday in southeast Mass. Sam, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Mike Seidel. I know it is cold out there. The wind chills are still in the single digits where he's standing right now. Trees, power lines, we've talked about that this morning in the tri-state. Connecticut, Long Island, New York. Also, we've got this dense fog advisory out. Morgan City, Louisiana, we're taking it all the way to Beaumont, Port Arthur right now. So we do have some travel trouble.
Currently in our area, 68 degrees under fair skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 87. West-northwest winds shifting to east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 70. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 86. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Nine minutes after the hour, Jim and Sam with you this morning, and we've got a split box of areas that we're watching, Jim. Well, we'll get you to the Northeast. Let's talk Hartford this morning. Hartford, though, actually looking pretty good. You can see the clouds in the distance. Hartford hasn't been impacted as much as areas south by the renegade snowflakes that are coming off the Great Lakes.
Yeah, those clouds in New York City are from the lake effect snow band.
Yeah.
Coming off of Lake Ontario this morning.
Because it has been moving through the Hudson Valley and through Long Island, and those clouds are all a part of that. And look at the big difference in Hartford, just a little bit north of it. Yep. There's the band right there, Jim, coming down right down I-81. That's what you don't want to see.
Yeah, watch out heading north out of Scranton. You're going to go down to a half mile before you hit the Pennsylvania line.
And still, that's still lingering in Fairfield County. All right, snow and strong winds getting gusts up to about 57 miles an hour, causing those problems in Connecticut. Jim, this morning we've already seen those accidents.
Yeah, already a number of accidents, and of course we've had power outages as well. And it's kind of amazing when you look at the kind of damage that these winds caused yesterday.
And that, because we talked to Heidi Voigt, and the trees down, the power lines down, they had the problem yesterday. That little bit of snow causing all the problems today.
A little flash freezing going on. Remember how warm it's been all week?
Yeah.
You cool it down, you bring a little bit of snow on top of it, now you got an ice skating rink.
All right, we'll go back to the wind damage and we'll show you what it looked like. WVIT showing us the story.
I know wind wreaks havoc with power lines and with tree limbs.
With a power line across Buckland Road near the intersection with Route 30, it meant detours for drivers lasted for about 5 hours. At times, police had some frustrations Eversource, formerly known as CLMP, had not come here sooner. Until power crews arrived, several officers had to sit out here.
Yeah, we have a job like this. We'll bill it back to the power company because we had to hire additional people.
As the wind swept across the state, it created problems. In Simsbury, because of downed trees. This was the scene on Aspenwood Drive. Crews faced similar problems and also downed power lines on Hopbrook Road and Farmstead Lane. Back in South Windsor, a tree fell on a home on Strong Road. The homeowner was there at the time.
And then I heard a small thud. My cat came running in, and I look out the front window and I see my pine tree leaning against the house. Luckily, it didn't hit the power lines or do any damage, but we're good.
Greg, thank you, Greg. Oh, we were just looking at the maps after we thought we'd load up to show you exactly what's going on. So there's that big area of low pressure. This was responsible for all the wind that was all through the tri-state area. Even, it always bothers me, construction sites in an area like New York City. And when you forecast that there's going to be strong winds through the area, they got to have that button down, or boards and planks and things are going to go flying.
Yes, everything. And you know, this little lake effect band has been a big problem for us this morning, Sam. You can see the clouds associated with it all the way down in New York City, just like the camera showed. So the camera doesn't lie.
You just showed the picture right there.
And there they are. So let's talk about this. Wind advisories all day today. What's interesting is we may see a hair of a lull, maybe a little bit later on this morning, but winds are going to pick back up again because that strong March sun gets up in the atmosphere, mixes the stronger winds down, and you've just got wailing away. Look at 47 gusts right now.
And just look at all the lines. When we show these tight lines like this, that's the strong gusty wind.
Month, that's for sure. Just imagine if you're on top of Mount Washington gusting to almost 100 miles per hour. So here we are, hour by hour. Notice the winds, 40 to 50, still in Boston at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Wow, that's going to be that's a tough day today. I would expect more trees to come down in this area again.
Delays at the airport. All right, you cannot bring in aircraft because you come right over the water there, and that's just going to be, they're going to come right into the teeth of that wind. New York, even 25 to 30, that'll slow air traffic down as well because that's just too strong a wind.
Much tougher here, but look at Philly, even showing that line 20 to 25 miles an hour. That just means you got to space things out at airports.
Yeah, I mean, the highs here, that low is still sitting up in Nova Scotia. So the strongest pressure gradient is certainly New England. But, I mean, yesterday was 73 in D.C. Now 30. And with the wind chill, it feels like it's in the 20s. That's what hurts the most, the wind.
and the dropping temperature. All combined.
It hurts a little, but the wind hurts a lot.
Yeah. All right, Jen, we've got that. The other story this morning is all the rain and the fog that's into the Texas area.
Yeah, and then we look across parts of the Midwest where they're starting to see those temperatures rebounding some. And as we show you right now, this is a live view of Minneapolis, 32 degrees. They're a good-looking day out there. Today, you're going to make it up to 48, and by Friday, we're going to be looking very close to that 60-degree mark. As we show you right now, lots of sunshine out there, no fog out there. Indianapolis as well as Green Bay, your temperatures very close to 30 degrees. You're going to warm up nicely, but as they show you from this time yesterday, a big change is in the air. Temperatures running 14 to 20. Almost 30 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. Charleston, you have the biggest shock of the system. The only good thing is when you walk out the door, you wake up really quickly if you were just dragging it out the door. As we show you for 7 p.m. as we go, look at those numbers running 11 degrees above average for Green Bay, 48 in Minneapolis, and 56 in Des Moines. So those numbers are really nice, actually above average across some parts. Indianapolis, your forecast shows you today 50 degrees, 52 tomorrow, and then Saturday is going to be your warmest day. And you notice those temperatures are going to be running almost 10 degrees above average for this time of the year. Sam, this is some incredible stuff that we're talking about because people are really getting spoiled.
I want to go to Indy right now and just hang out all the way through Saturday.
Last week was Bismarck, now you're going to Indy.
Now I'm ready to go to Indy. Pictures that we've got some great spring shots, but we should start with the snow.
Let's start with the snow because people in the Northeast are still dealing with winter. Of course, we're talking about that snow band that moved through the Hudson Valley.
Whoa, where is this?
This is in Rock Hill, New York.
In Sullivan County, Jim, did you see this?
Sullivan County, yeah. This is about 80 miles northwest of
so
Danbury.
you go Rockland, Sullivan counties in the Hudson Valley.
Yep. So we know that in Danbury, they have a 2-hour delay in schools, but this was earlier this morning, and they're saying #random blizzard. Not a blizzard, but it feels like after all this snow. I know.
And even those pictures looked pretty impressive about that little lake effect snow band that was several hundred miles away from the lake. We'll get to your spring pictures when we come back.
Think fixing your windshield is a big hassle? Not with Safelite. This family needed their windshield replaced, but their daughter's heart was set on going to the zoo. So guess what? I met them at the zoo. Service that fits your schedule. That's another Safelite advantage.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
Sir, we're gonna need you on the runway later.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu with the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. It breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
When it comes to your credit, In the Know is the place to be. TransUnion.com makes it easy. We give you 24/7 access. You get instant credit alerts to keep you in sync. You can even lock and unlock your TransUnion credit report from your phone. And all that information feels pretty good. Come to TransUnion.com and get in the
With Tire Kingdom's conventional oil change, we rotate your tires, check your battery, and visually check your brakes, all for $19.99 plus $3 disposal fee. And now get a $70 reward card when you buy 4 Michelin tires, like the Premier AS tire. Even when worn, they still stop shorter on wet roads than leading competitors' brand new tires. Tire Kingdom Service Centers. That's all you need.
Every time you wash your glasses with Cascade Platinum, they're being corroded. You might not see it at first, but over time it causes clouding. After just 25 washes, signs of damage appear. Switch to Finish Quantum Max with unique glass protector action, which helps shield your glasses from corrosion. So with Finish, glasses look like new for longer. For clearly better protection, new Finish Quantum Max with Shine and Protect. Switch and see the difference.
My son is dating an employee. And my daughter, the princess, is behaving like a common... You're welcome.
Long live the king.
The Royals. Brand new Sundays at 10. Only on E!
Currently in our area, 67 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 87. West-northwest winds shifting to east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 70. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 86. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
March 18th, 1925, the deadliest tornado on record, the Tri-State tornado, traveled over 200 miles, 219 to be exact, 625 people losing their lives. I mean, can you imagine that? Monster rolling across 3 states, Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. Well, this year, it's a whole different story. As you know, different years bring different kinds of weather. We're actually in a tornado drought, which is fine by everybody. If you take a look at what we had January 3rd through the 4th, where it was actually a little warmer, a little more moist in the south, we actually did have tornadoes. We had a little outbreak there. But since then, we've only had 4 tornadoes, and that's because of the pattern that has simply ensued and shut off the moisture source. It's also changed the position of the jet stream a little bit, and I'll talk about that. But look at this. It's not just tornadoes. They're down. Hail is down. And damaging wind is down, so everything is down. The ingredients for severe thunderstorms as a whole is down. So this March so far, 2015, no tornadoes. You have to go all the way back to 1969 to go through March 16th to have no tornadoes. The latest first tornado was on March 23rd. So if we get past that date, this will be the longest year on record since the 1950s. All right, so what's going on? Here's the jet stream right in through here. And when you take a look at this, first of all, what it shows me is you've cut off your moisture sources. All right, you've just pretty much cut them off or pushed them out over the Atlantic Ocean. This is the lifting side, the favorable side of the jet stream right here, and notice where it is over the Atlantic. It's not over the states. So any active weather, any stormy weather is going to be over the Atlantic. And just tell the folks in Boston and New England, that's where the low pressures are developing, right? So you get big coastal storms and big big snow. But if you're going to get severe weather, you want the jet stream to line itself up over the Rockies, pull up the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, change the wind direction and height in through here, and that pretty much sets up the traditional tornado alley, if you will, for severe. So let's take a look at what we got going forward in terms of the jet stream. We've had a very active northern branch with a weaker southern branch that's pretty much kind of cut things off down along the south. But look at what happens as we head in toward next Thursday. If you remember the pattern I was showing you, the ridge trough axis being here, this gives us a little more favorable area for at least severe thunderstorms and thunderstorms in general. It just depends on what type of air mass precedes this. If it's an old continental polar air mass from Canada, sometimes it doesn't recharge quick enough and get us into a situation where we have a lot of moisture or a lot of instability. But you need instability and you need a change in wind direction with height, wind shear. Those two things together give us severe thunderstorms. And as we head toward next week, possibly later in the week, it looks like, at least for the jet stream pattern here, Sam, things may shape up a little bit more favorable for that. But I don't know about you, but I'm pretty happy with the lack of tornadoes.
I'm good with that.
I mean I'm fine with that too, man.
It's meant lingering cold temperatures, but it saved us from a lot of trouble with the severe storms. Jim, the 3 stories today to share? Oh, stand by. You're going to love these. All right, how about this? Breathtaking new video inside the world's largest cave. Now, this is in Vietnam, but hang on. A photographer took a drone inside to to see. This cave is 5.5 miles long. The cave has its own jungle and its own river. So we'll show you more. Look at this. Look at that. That's incredible. That's a cave.
Tropical cave.
First time you're ever going to be able to see it like this, only because of the drone. Hey, we're gonna post this so you'll be able to watch it on our Facebook page. Hey, you've heard about Amazon's hope for drone delivery. That's because you and I want things, and we want them now. But what would be faster than that? Well, the retail giant is filing a patent for a fleet of, get this, 3D printer trucks. They drive the truck to your house and print the order for you right there at your door. That means there's zero delivery time. You would have it in your hand immediately, but it also is something for them because then they don't have to have warehouses, Jim, so they don't have to store all this stuff. They can just make it for you right there when you order it. Now, remember when we talked about this? It can fly more than 400 miles on a tank of regular gas or drive more than 100 miles an hour. This is the flying car that we've all been waiting for since childhood. Prototype is called the Aeromobile, Jim.
I've got to see this thing.
All right, been more than 20 years in the works, built in Slovakia. It can tuck in its wings to parallel park. You have no problem with the wings, and you could just take it to the highway. We're going to talk to the visionary guy behind this. We're going to talk to him, so we'll find out how much it costs. Right. Maybe we'll get a test drive. I don't know. That's coming up in the show.
Or at least be where he's test driving it.
Yeah, I think we got to go.
You got to be part pilot and you have to be part driver.
Can you just imagine pulling up to the Mickey D's drive-thru in that thing? Let me just tuck my wings up, Jim, so I can talk into the monitor and order a burger.
And then I'll take off and fly to Disneyland. Right?
Wow. Right. That's coming up in the show. You won't want to miss that. Also, in Washington, D.C. yesterday, there's a big changeover for the Royals. If you would call this a chilly reception, no, it's not political. It's truly about the weather. But the royal family is taking...
This program brought to you by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state.
Well, sir, after some serious consideration, I'd like to put in my 15-year notice.
You're quitting?
Technically retiring, sir. With a little help from my State Farm agent, I plan to retire in 15 years.
Wow, you're totally blindsiding me here. Who's going to manage your accounts? This is a devastating blow I was not prepared for.
Well, I'm going to finish packing my things. 15 years will really sneak up on you.
Jennifer will do your exit interview, and Adam made you a cake.
Red velvet.
Oh, thank you.
I made this.
Take charge of your retirement. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Lowe's presents how to install a new washing machine with one finger.
Maybe a little more that way. Nice.
Now get 10% off major appliances $3.99 and more at Lowe's.
Brought to you by Lowe's. Never stop improving.
Get fast-acting, long-lasting relief from heartburn with doctor-recommended Gaviscon. It neutralizes stomach acid and is the only product that forms a protective barrier that helps keep stomach acid in the stomach where it belongs. For fast-acting, long-lasting relief, try Gaviscon.
I got red dirt stains on my boots and jeans, callous fingers from my guitar strings, wild like the wind in the tall pine trees. I got roots and I got wings.
Supermodel Cindy Crawford doesn't just walk the red carpet, she rocks it. At age 47, she steals the show and wows the international press. New York Daily News raves that Cindy defies the laws of aging. And Us Weekly proclaims Cindy Crawford hasn't aged a bit. Her secret is Meaningful Beauty, a complete skincare system that restores the look of youth.
My skin looks firmer now. It's smooth and it's young looking. I'm so glad I found Meaningful Beauty.
Since using Meaningful Beauty, my skin tone is evening out. And I notice that all the little lines have softened. My skin has never looked better.
And right now is the perfect time for you to experience Meaningful Beauty because this brand new offer is Cindy's best deal ever. Normally $119, you'll pay only $39.95 when you call and order today. But hold on, this is where the offer gets really good. Cindy's Red Carpet Trio, a $95 value, is yours absolutely free when you call now. The trio includes 2 Meaningful Beauty favorites, Wrinkle Smoothing Capsules and Glowing Serum, for an immediate boost of glamour and glow. And when you order today, you also get the amazing Skin Polishing Brush. This 2-speed ultra-luxurious brush gently but deeply cleanses, powering away dry, dead skin cells, revealing smoother, more radiant-looking skin.
The brush really feels like it's polishing my skin, and it just leaves it with an incredible glow.
The total effect of this free gift package? A red carpet-ready complexion. You get all this, a $215 value for just $39.95. But you must act quickly. Results guaranteed or your money back.
Pick up the phone, try it. It's going to make you feel beautiful. You're going to be thrilled.
This is a limited time offer, so call 1-800-530-3933 or go to trymb.com/brush now.
This Sunday,
one man's trash
did the work
is another man's totally awesome beer can space heater.
Hi.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 67 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 87. West-northwest winds shifting to east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 70. Winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 86. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.